never an accident. It is always the result of high intention, sincere effort, intelligent direction, and skillful execution. It represents the wise choice of many alternatives. International Quality Assurance Cells of Vinayaga Missions College of Nursing cordially welcomes you all for the 31st webinar on Quality Webinar Series on Quality Initiatives, a way forward in post accreditation. People will forget what you said, forget what you did. People will never forget the way you made them feel through your welcome. It's time to express our welcome for the participants. I request Dr. Sharda Ramesh, Principal, Vinayaga Missions College of Nursing, for the welcome address. Now I request Dr. Sharda Ramesh, Principal VM Con, for the welcome address.
Thank you. A warm, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Good morning, sir. Good morning, dear members, delegates present on this day for the quality initiative that the VMCon has taken over. I, Dr. Sharda Ramesh, Principal, I am very delighted to be here on this occasion of the quality initiative conducted by the IQAC of VMCon on the topic of way forward in post-accreditation quality initiatives. What next after accreditation? Usually we get confused and how to go about. We have already showed everything and what next and what more is to be seen and shown in the accreditation cycle for the next forthcoming one is always a big question that we have. Here we have an expert speaker, Dr. Sendil Kumaran, additional professor from Department of Physiotherapy, Manipal, Mahe, who is going to share his ideas on this particular topic with his expertise. Is going to fill us with knowledge. And I'm very delighted, Dr. Sandil Kumaran, inviting you on behalf of the management, College of Nursing, and on my own behalf, and the IQAC director and the cell, for this particular series of quality initiative that we are conducting. And I thank you for accepting our humble invitation and joining over the web on this day to enlighten us on this knowledge of what to do next after an accreditation, how it would be a quality initiative. We welcome you, sir. Always a backbone is needed for everything, and we need an extraordinary support in IQAC. Dr. Gnanashekar, Director, IQAC Cell of VMRF, is always a person who gives us strength to strength, support to support, pillar to pillar for the VMCon as always. Sir, it is my pleasure inviting you on this webinar series and on this day, guiding us throughout in selecting the topic, giving the exact resource person and the time that you have dedicated despite your busy schedule. I welcome you wholeheartedly. I welcome all the delegates, all the members who have joined on the web to benefit out of this particular presentation. On behalf of VMCon, I welcome all of you wholeheartedly. IQAC cell should be very active, and we have Dr. V. Sashi, who is the coordinator of VMCon, who had taken this initiative of conducting this IQAC webinar series. And I welcome you, Dr. Sashi, for bringing out this wonderful initiative and also making this happen on this day. I welcome you. I welcome each and every one of our faculty who had supported us directly or indirectly for this whole event and being here. I also extend my hearty welcome to all the non-teaching staff and the support staff for extending their fullest support in whether it be IT or whether it be any other aspect in the performing of this quality initiative. I once again welcome each and every one. I also welcome the HOIs, the other directors, and the VMRF officials for joining us with our humble invitation despite their busy schedule. I welcome you, sirs, madams, on behalf of the VMCon. Once again, I welcome each and every one for being here and taking us through this webinar series. Dr. Sendil Kumaran, I once again heartily welcome you for this quality webinar series. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your heartwarming and glittering gratification. Leaders can create a high productivity level by providing the appropriate organizational structure and job design and by acknowledging and appreciating hard work. It's my duty to acknowledge the person who lives as per Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam's quote, Professor Dr. P. Gnanashekhar, Director IQAC, Vinayaga Missions Research Foundation, Deemed University, Salem, to deliver the keynote address.
Thank you. Warm morning to all of you. It's indeed a great pleasure to be before you on this webinar series of the Vinayaga Missions Research Foundation. This is the 31st webinar of the Quality Webinar Series. And I'm really happy that the VMCon of Pondicherry is hosting this webinar. I congratulate both the principal as well as the IQAC coordinator for hosting this webinar. When we look at the accreditation process, see, assessment and accreditation are continuous. It cannot stop once we get an certification or accreditation. This process is continuous. So usually the truth we should accept is once the assessment is done and the accreditation is received, we start sleeping. So we wake up only after 4 years. On the 5th year, we think about assessment and accreditation again. This is the blank truth we should all accept. So keeping this in mind only, NAC has come out with a new framework where it wants to take in inputs of the 5th year SSR right in the AQR itself. So from last year onwards, NAC has been now taking the full set of metrics, the data and documents for the full set of metrics for the AQR, and it has categorically said that it is going to consolidate the 5 AQRs, 5-year AQRs, and that will be considered as the SSR. So after 5 years, they are not going to ask for a separate SSR. So these AQRs are going to be the SSR of the institution. So that gives us more responsibility. See, usually what we do is the AQRs are, we think it is just an exercise, annual exercise as we prepare our annual reports. But now that cannot be the scenario. And specifically, as far as our university is concerned, we had our second cycle assessment done and we were accredited with A grade. And the year 22-23 is our first year of the third cycle assessment. So now we have entered the second year. And the first year AQR is now being prepared. So this is where we need to be very cautious and see that our targets are properly met and how we need to initiate in what areas have to be improved so that we can not only retain our status but we should go ahead and reach the target which we have set as 3.7 by 2027. So with this initiative only, these types of webinars give us input on how to improve ourselves, how to rather maintain our quality, and how to go forward in accreditation. So today's topic is really relevant to the scenario, and we look forward to Dr. Senthil Kumaran's presentation and his inputs. I do hope at the end of the webinar, all of us will take home good information, which will convert to real quality in our workplace. I wish all of you a wonderful weekend. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Really, you're inspiring us to lighten the heart and soul with your power of knowledge. The greatest person is not necessarily the one who does the great things. He is the one that gets the people to do the greatest thing. I request Dr. V. Sasi to give a glimpse about a great person, Dr. Senthil Kumaran, Additional Professor, Department of Physiotherapy, Manipal College of Health Professional, Manipal Academy of Higher Education, Karnataka.
Sir, am I audible? Sir, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Thank you. Sir has completed his bachelor's in physiotherapy in 1998 from Tamil Nadu Dr. MGR Medical University, and completed his MPT from Manipal Academy of Higher Education and PhD also from Manipal Academy of Higher Education. And sir has completed his FIMER fellowship in 2019 from Manipal Academy of Higher Education. He has 25 years of teaching experience under various categories in various institutions. Sir has also received awards and honors and appreciations. Notably, in 2023, he has received an honor, that is the World Physiotherapy Congress 2023 Bursary Program recipient from World Physiotherapy. And he has also been appreciated. He has also been appreciated, received appreciation from university for contributing in MAHE, getting accredited with A++ by NAC. And sir has also received an award of iPitch Seed Investment Award for the project titled Arm Able Game-Based Arm Training Rehabilitation Device, and also been received a Professional Contribution Award from Oxford College of Physiotherapy and Best Paper Prize in 46th Annual Conference of Indian Association of Physiotherapy, Dehradun. Sir has research interest under various aspects. Some of them are stroke rehabilitation and recovery, virtual reality, game-based rehabilitation, physical activity, ICF framework, and kinematic analysis, post-urography, surface electromyography, posture, balance and gait analysis and rehabilitation, action observation, and interprofessional education. He has 17 years of research experience where he received 11 grants, which is worth about amount 112.45 lakhs. And he has Scopus indexed publications 30 numbers and around 22 numbers of conference abstract publication. He has 392 Google Scholar citations and 171 Scopus citations, and his H index score in Scopus is 5, and in Google Scholar it is 7. And he has around 5 copyrights registered. And sir has a supervised PhD thesis 4 numbers and PG dissertations more than 50. And he has served as a reviewer in several national and international journals, and he is a deputy editor in the journal Physiotherapy Research International. Sir also has administrative experience. He is an external expert member in the Board of Studies in Minaha Mission's Research Foundation under a Faculty of Physiotherapy. And he is also an external expert member in Sri Devaraj URS Academy of Higher Education and Research, Kola. He is also a quality management representative in Manipal. And He is also an IQAC coordinator in Manipal College of Health Professions, Manipal Academy of Higher Education. There is various professional membership. Some of them are he is a member in World Physiotherapy, World Stroke Organization, Indian Association of Physiotherapists, Indian Federation of Neurorehabilitation, Society of Indian Physiotherapists, and Neurodevelopmental Therapy Association. We are privileged to have you as a resource person for this 31st quality webinar series on quality initiative, a way forward in post accreditation. It's over to you, sir.
Thank you so much. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay. Thank you so much for the warm welcome and then introduction. I really thank management for inviting me as a resource person to discuss about the quality initiative. Special thanks to Dr. Ganashekar and then Dr. Sashi. Thank you for having me here. I think Sir highlighted in his keynote address a few things, which also I have put it in my slide, on the slide. Like accreditation is not the destination; it is a milestone. Means like you once you start this journey, we may have to either improve or once you reach the top, you maintain there, because there is no way that you can stay there statically. Like there has to be a movement, either an upward movement or a downward movement. So we try to keep our upward movement. So that is the way forward in post accreditation, since you have already got the accreditation from NAC. Now this talk, I have kept it very briefly. I will not be taking more than 45 minutes or something. So just to briefly introduction, then what is actually post accreditation, and then what are the key elements of quality initiatives that we have to look at post accreditation. What are the benefits of these quality initiatives during the post accreditation? And definitely for every initiative, we have challenges as well as there will be a solution. So that is what I will be covering in my talk. Now we all know accreditation. So nowadays, every institute goes for accreditation, either by mandate or by their by will. But it is mandatory because accreditation is nothing but just a quality check. No, it tells us where we stand. Because today's world is competitive world. In particular, higher education, if you see, there are a lot of institutions coming every day, higher education institutions. So when the students look for the higher education institutions, they have wide variety of options. So they look for the quality. So when they look for the quality, we have to maintain our quality, for which accreditation is one place where it helps us to improve our quality. Also, we get certified from some agencies that we are having a good quality. So that is the accreditation. Also, we have a lot of ranking, which is slightly different from accreditation. Accreditation is something quality check for the process, whereas ranking helps the students to differentiate and compare the universities. As I mentioned, a lot of universities will be there, so students just can go through the website or compare and then find out which is the best university and in which they wanted to pursue their higher education. Now, mainly at the national level, we have only NAC and then NIF. NAC is an accreditation body. NIF is a ranking framework. It's a national institutional ranking framework. Apart from that, we have professional bodies also. For example, now you are a nursing college. You have Nursing Council of India accreditation also. That is a statutory body. But mainly now, by and large, in India, every institute is required to undergo a NAC, like National Assessment and Accreditation Council. This is at the national level. But globally also, there are two ranking thing, that is the World Times Higher Education World University Ranking and also QS World University Ranking. There are many more, but I have put only few, which actually every universities who wanted to take part in these accreditation and then ranking process. What is the role, particularly in the health profession education? So why accreditation is important or how accreditation helps? This is a paper which is published in BMC Medical Education. talks about the role of accreditation in 21st century health profession education. It's a report of an international consensus group where globally people came together and then they sat and then they discussed and then they created a recommendation. So what they said is, it's nothing new, we also know, the role of accreditation in the education institutions or in particular health profession education starts the entry of the student and exit of the student. Like when the student enters or even before the student enters, it actually plays a role in pre-admission education. Just now I said students go to the website and then they search, okay, where I can study, which is the best university. So it helps actually to streamline our process in pre-admission education also. So starting from the pre-admissions education, then once they get selected, they got admitted, it has a role to play. Then the learning environment, because if you see an app only, it has criteria. Each criteria are there. Even in pre-admission education, one of the item is like demand ratio. Demand ratios, how much demand is there for our program based on our number of applications and then based on our seat matrix. So it helps even pre-admission educations, also the admissions and selections. The learning environment, not only the infrastructure, human resources, faculty, technology, all those things, and curriculum and assessment. Now, currently, now emphasis more on choice-based credit system. The NAC recommends that, or outcome-based education based on UGC criteria. So that it helps us to plan our curriculum, the accreditation. In India, NAC suggests us to go for a choice-based credit system or elective-based system. And then it encourages us to provide a lot of academic flexibility, have more number of interdisciplinary courses. So all those things. And next comes graduate competencies. What we are supposed to actually, what is our program outcome? What is our program educational objectives? So everything is clearly assessed under the NAC. And then practice, like what we do during the process, how the curriculum is delivered, what type of clinical practice opportunities are provided to the students, and finally the health outcomes at large once they pass out. So the accreditation plays a role, particularly in the health profession education, before the student enters and then after the student leaves the portal also. That is a role that accreditation plays. And benefits, I don't need to explain the benefits. We all know, you all know, because you have been part of this accreditation process. So you know in what way the accreditation helps. Starting again from determining whether an institution is meeting standards of education from the student point of view, improving enrollment rate by winning the trust of students and parents, helps the employers determine the program's credibility and knowledge level of students by looking at the outcome of the students, student progression and then outcomes, enabling the graduates to appear for further certification examination, now through career counseling or further progression training, and also accelerates the chances of placement in institution. And this is through the one of the criteria, like criteria 5, it looks for the placement opportunities and creates the goals for self-improvement of educational institutions. That's the most important thing. We get a report. We get our performance report or record. Now, you have participated in NAC, you have participated in the accreditation, so as at the second cycle, you would have got the feedback from the committee, those who have come and then inspected, and they would have provided some recommendations. So we know where we have to further improve, if we have to improve our standard. So these are some of the benefits by and large of accreditation. Now, where do you stand? Like now, when I just checked in the website, Vinayak Machines Research Foundation, NAC, particularly national level, NAC and then NIRF, the NAC score, your score is CGPF 3.13, which comes under the A grade. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is what I have just got from the website. And then under NIRF, like NIRF, comes under the rank band of 150, 200. So this is a status, current status. Now you are in the state, you are at the level of A. Now you have greater responsibility to further improve, move to A plus or directly move to A double plus also, getting a highest score. Or even in the NIRF, you still have 150 institutions above you. So you have to work again to reach this top slot. So now this is the status. Now what you have to do? You have got the score now. Post accreditation, what we have to do? Post accreditation, we know, sir explained first only, it is little critical phase because now you have been accredited. Now you have some years, right? Another 5 years. Like now they have changed the policy. Before you just have to submit after 5 years, but now it's not like that. Every year, whatever you submit is accounted for you. So then finally they generate. So every year you have to do kind of a task, data compilation task. And it's very critical because from this one, you are going to make your stage for your future growth, where you want to be. So you need to focus on many of the quality initiatives. Again, you already will be doing a lot of quality initiatives. Now, either you may have to accelerate the speed, or you may have to find out your lacuna, your weaknesses, which need to be further improved. So that way you have to identify the areas of improvement and then streamline the process. We may have the process, little bit streamlining is important, and ultimately which will improve the outcomes. So that I said that you see yourself at the rank of A double players or something like that. So that is the post accreditation. Now, this improvement, when we say improvement, it is a continuum, like quality initiative. That's why I said it's not you're going to start today. You are already doing a lot of things. For example, to be very frank, I was really surprised. Like, and I felt happy that you are doing a series of quality webinars. We don't have in the university also. So that's a good practice. So you're doing some of the already good practices. But now we just need to find out where we are still lagging and then improve that area. So it is a continuum. It's an ongoing process. So you need to do what you need to do. This is a famous thing in the management area. They say first we have to identify the problem, then test possible solutions, verify the effectiveness, and then finally implement the best option. This is what plan, do, check, and act. This is for the continuum of improvement. Now, why we need to do always? Because accreditation is a milestone, not the destination. It will never be a destination. You just have to keep on doing. That's what I said in the initial. You just have to keep on do every year repeatedly so that you maintain your pace or grow. Then you reach something like a top slot among all the institutions, so that your visibility is good. So accreditation is not at all a destination. It is a continuum of improvement. Now, key elements. Now, in the post-accreditation, I would like to mention few things which you really have to look. And I have gone through your SSR report because I think you have participated on the university criteria. I've just briefly gone through your, although I was not able to completely go through, I just went through briefly, but I could not find the recommendations provided by the previous thing. But anyway, that's okay. But I have identified certain things like kind of area where you can really improve. So if you look at the key element of quality initiatives in post-accreditation, first is reflection. You have to do continuous reflection. You need to definitely go for innovation and adaptation. Whatever you do should be based on the data. So data will never tell lies, right? Whatever you do should go with the data. So it's called data-driven approach. And definitely, you should engage all the stakeholders. Stakeholders who all are involved in the whole process. Everyone should come to the table and then sit together and then discuss. It should not be like only top working or only the bottom working. Everyone should sit at the same table and then we plan. Or stakeholder, when we say, I'm saying even the student is a stakeholder. The whole institute, the whole university is for whom? The students. So they are one of the major customers. They're the stakeholders, then parents, then alumni, once they pass out, then the employers who recruit our students. So all these people actually should be properly engaged. I hope you may be doing, but we'll see how further increase the engagement. And professional development, that is another one key area which we have to do. Sometimes it's very important, whatever we do, we should disseminate. We should disseminate that. That too, we are living in an era of social media rules the world. So we should utilize maximum the social media. That gives a lot of visibility. And sometime we will see that too, mainly for a university which has 3 campuses like you or like us, every day some or other thing will be happening. Sometimes we even may not know what is happening in the other campus or what is happening in the other institute sitting in the same campus, located in the same campus. So we should disseminate whatever we do. It not only helps us to improve the visibility, it helps us to replicate the same. Like when I am Mission College of Physiotherapy, if they are doing something good, you can replicate, you can learn from them. But for that, they need to actually disseminate whatever they do. Vice versa. Similarly, if you are doing something, they can learn from you and then they can do. So we need to learn from each other, the best practices dissemination. And finally, everything should comply with the ethical thing and social responsibility. Discuss under these major 7 things. I've kept only these 7, but it doesn't mean that it is inclusive of everything. Maybe many more, but I have kept only with the time frame of these 7. Now, how do you do continuous reflection? How do we do continuous reflection? Can anyone? Sorry, don't feel that I'm asking. This is just to keep you engaged. That's all. We all are professionals. I know nobody is a student or something. But just I'm asking just to keep you engaged. Okay, continuous reflection. What we do? Yeah, sorry, ma'am. Go ahead.
Conducting a post meet.
Okay, converting the.
Which means after the any event, like we can conduct a post meet for reflecting.
Yes, post reflection. If you see your NAC SSR report itself is a reflection. See, you may not know, like I said, we may not know unless until we prepare a self-study report, how many programs are there, how many we might know. I'm not saying we don't know. We might know, but with the data, with the fact and figures, we might have a complete data of ranging from the student numbers, from where they are, faculty from where they are, what is the number, what is the ratio, how many lecture halls that we have. No, everything we will have. So look at the data, then we just have to reflect. How we reflect, you would have done already for submitting the thing also. Like SWOT. Strength, we all know what is SWOT. Strength, weakness, opportunities. Initially, we call that as a threat, but now it's no more a threat. It is challenges. Challenges, right? Now, I said I went through your NAC report, self-study report, and then you have stated strength, weakness, and opportunities and threat. So strength, now why I have put this now in the post-accreditation, you have to work on this. You have to work on this and then build further. Now, you have stated as a strength, as yours is a multidisciplinary university, spreading across 3 campuses. You have a lot of courses, a lot of students with 3 decades of experience. So that's a strength. That's a major strength. You won't have many universities having these multiple disciplines, ranging from, name a course, name a program, it is there. That is your major strength. Second, you have listed many things, but only few things I have taken. Another one is the LMS, Learning Management System. You have mentioned that you have a learning management system, very good management system. That's wonderful. That only you have to now further use it, because learning management system is very important for providing a student-centric activities, student-centric training. In criteria 2, that's a major thing. They ask for student-centric methods. No pedagogy. What all different pedagogies that we are using, that they ask for. So you can do many more things by using learning management system. I do not know exactly what type of learning management system that you have, But anyway, we'll discuss that briefly. Later one of the slides also have the same thing. Other one strength that you said is you have IQAC, really good. IQAC is the one place where people will be sitting and then doing analysis and then giving the directions, creating a strategy document for the institute, and then telling the people in what way that we have to travel, and then what is our goal, how to achieve within a set timeline. That's again a good thing that you have. So these are the good things. Now, have you utilized to the fullest amount what all the existing strength that you have perceived as a strength? Have you utilized to the maximum? That's the one thing that you have to look back and then see. Second, you have mentioned as a weakness as like you're not able to get much of national funding because you are a private institute. The second thing you have mentioned, like placement opportunities. The third one, you have said you are not able to get much of international students and then faculty. Now, first thing you have mentioned that national funding, you are not able to get any. Now, it is the fact that every institute applies for funding. Definitely everyone will be applying for funding. And in the race, we as the private institute definitely will be little having a setback. I still remember when one of the DST interviews when I went from our same institute, 2-3 people went, and then the first question that the director asked is, "You're from Manipur. You people are rich. Why you want money? Why you want fund for doing research?" See, that's the one question which is being asked to the private often. But I would say that's not a major, that cannot be considered as a major thing. It is how we project our ideas, which is far superior than even some of the national ideas. I completely do agree that the national people will have a slight edge over the private people because everyone will think, you have money, why you come for money? Why you're asking for money? A question will definitely come. But we just have to prepare in such a way that whatever the project that we are projecting is having a huge community impact, societal impact. Because being in a private, we have a lot of advantages. I would say a lot of advantages. Of course, in a government, you may not have the freedom to do many of the things. But in a private, the process is very easy. If, for example, if you want to apply for a funding, you can get all the documents done within a day or two, because the university, private universities want us to do more research and want to apply for funding. Whereas in government, it is completely different because they actually get funding normally, right? So the process, everything they have to go through hierarchy. We also have to go through hierarchy, but the process is relatively easy in the private institutions. So now, when you say you are not able to do acquire more of funding, this is one key domain that you have to sit and then do. Now, how do you know now? Because you have prepared the self-study report and then you have seen slightly this area that we are not having much of funding. We are having, but we need to improve further. Then now you sit and then you plan the strategies. I said the same thing, like plan, do, verify, and then act. No, just now you have to plan now how to improve the funding opportunities. So maybe one of the thing is some of the faculty may not know even how to write a grant proposal, may not be aware. They may know how to write, but they may not know how to effectively write a grant proposal. Find out the person who has already obtained many grants. Ask them to take a seminar, or ask them to take a workshop, ask them to take a webinar, anything, and then, or even don't go to the outside. Within your own institute, find out the person who has acquired already a funding. Call him and then ask him or ask her to share their own experience. How actually they started the process, what went wrong, what went good, all those things, they can share their experience. And that will be a learning for all other things. This is one for the training. Second thing is, many of the people will not know when the grant proposal comes. So what you have to do is, there has to be some place, like we have an institutional research committee, We have a directorate of research at the university level. One of their major work is whatever the grant proposal comes, that will be escalated to all the faculty. Like every week we get regularly one popping message that this grant is there if you want to apply. Okay, so someone has to even tell the faculty that they cannot go and then search. So someone sitting at the head as a coordinator for research, or someone, it's not there. They'll have an office. So that office people, they can actually check and then they can actually tell. And apart from that, there are a lot of softwares out there, private softwares, which you can actually subscribe. They will actually tell what all funding agencies are there regularly, so that whichever is relevant, you can apply. Even you can set the key in that software itself is, like, for example, I am interested in stroke. Let me know whenever the stroke related funding call or proposal call comes, automatically that will come to my mind. So something like that. So now this is one area you identified through your self-assessment, through your reflection, that we wanted to improve this because this is a weakness. Weakness, if it remains, it is harmful. And it can be rectified. It's an internal factor. It can be rectified because you have hold on that. It's not completely external. It's internal. That's why I slightly modified, like the statement that you have framed is because of the private, they are not giving. No, not like that. Of course, that is there, but you can still make your proposal appealing, and then you can actually get a lot of grants. Now, that is one. Second thing is, suppose placement opportunity. This comes in the criteria 5. They ask complete data of how many students are placed. Now, what you have stated completely we agree, because we are also health. I'm also the health background. The health background, the placement doesn't happen like engineering. Engineering, they come and then they just take all the students and then they go. Whereas for you, nursing, or whereas for us, physiotherapist, doesn't take like that. It doesn't happen like that. Most of the time, the students go and then start their own practice, or they go on their own and then join in the hospitals and then they go. But how to improve the placement opportunities? Now, one thing is you have multiple campuses, you have multiple hospitals. Maybe first start giving an opportunities for your students in your own hospitals and then campuses. I'm just saying that is one of the way that you can increase. And then there is a placement cell definitely will be there, where they have to proactively contact people and then do. In our institute in physiotherapy, initially, or in health profession, we hardly had actually placement of drives, like where the company is coming and then doing. But one of the key things is the alumni. I think you have to catch hold of your alumni. I'll discuss that in a later slide in detail. Catch your alumni. Through them, you improve the placement opportunities. See, that may be happening without your knowledge. Like, for example, juniors will call or they will have a connect, right? Juniors and seniors and juniors. So they will actually place, like, for example, one person is there, then they will say, here, one opportunity, why don't you apply? Come here, like that. May be happening, but you have to make it more of facial thing. So placement opportunities is another one area. How to improve is one of the key thing is alumni. Alumni, you have to definitely catch the placement opportunities. Whoever has gone, they might be doing very good. So you need to collect the data of all your alumni things. So you have to have registration, complete data. Now this is very difficult work. You won't believe how we did in when we applied for the NAC is, like, for example, for physiotherapy, we are here almost more than 32 years. Our physiotherapy college is there. So what we did is, among all the faculty, we did not give it to office staff because it won't happen. All the faculty literally sat, and then I took like 1 year. I called, I searched, and then I found on LinkedIn, and then we did that work. It happened. Now we have almost, among our institutions, MCHT has a maximum alumni in our network. And then we used social media strongly. Like, so Alumni Connect is one of the major things. You have to introspect. I do not know how much strong is your Alumni Connect and then alumni thing. So, but you have to use them for the placement opportunities. They can really help you in improving the placement. The last that you have put is international students. Like you said, lack of international students and then faculty. That will come through your MOU. And when I went through your report, you have also stated you do not have a MOU with the foreign. I don't know whether it is true or not, but in the statement, somewhere it is written MOU with the foreign universities or less or not there. That how you have to improve, how you can improve the international students. You have said there are regulations or government restrictions are there. Government restrictions are really not there. You can actually admit the international students, but that the process is big. You have to go through a process, but you will get, like international means only you will have a lot of issues when really you get a foreign student. So you focus on only NRI first. NRI students you should use first. How again through alumni. You have to connect your alumni. You have to give the feel to your alumni that you are really good, so that your alumni feel that her or his student, son or daughter should come and do or study here in Vinayaka missions, something like that. So it's a long process, but that also you just can't work like that. International students, for which you start attending the conferences, international conferences, where you go and then you present yourself, you increase the visibility, so that slowly the people around the world will start looking at. See, today's world is where it's a village, because people just can through LinkedIn or through media, they can know who is who, and what they are doing, what is their work. They can easily get connected. What we have to do is we just have to do, and of course, whatever we do, we should tell others. Those are the gone days. Suppose if I am there, we were taught like that. No, you should not go and say you are doing that, you are doing this, because that is a sign of arrogance. For today's world, believe me, only you can tell about yourself. Nobody else will come and then tell us until you are great, you are doing this. No, I just have to tell what I'm doing. It's not that I'm making a propaganda, but I'm just putting in a media so that others will know, so that the like-minded people can connect, and then we can do some research or we can do some work. It's that way. Okay, so that way this also can be rectified. And they are put under the opportunities. So many things are there. Like definitely it's an opportunity. You wanted to expand, yes, because you have so many programs. You are at the 3 campuses, you can expand. But again, have a clear vision. What way you have to expand, whether in UG or in a PG program, because what they say is the good healthy atmosphere is having more PG and relatively less UG. Like you have to have a ratio of 60-40. You do not know your current ratio. Ideally, they say 60-40, because see, the research comes mainly from PGs. No, so you want to improve your research, you have to have more postgraduates, you have more PGs, and ratio of PGs should become relatively less. So UG-PG ratio. So you decide whether you want to improve more of UG program or bring more of PG programs. So that way, or whether you want to have within one campus or multiple campuses. Expansion is a good thing. That's you already there, but you have mentioned that also as an opportunity. Technology development. Already you have reflected as one of your best practices. Like you have a software to capture all the data. That is really a good thing, because that's what we still lacking here. We have a lot of data, but still we do not have one platform where every data can be compiled. Still we go with the old method of circulating the Excels, and then everybody has to put the data. That's what we are doing. If you really have a technology for that, it's very good. But still, there is always no end for technology development, because it's every day it is evolving. Then you have said the opportunities is a collaboration. Today's collaboration is everything. You just have to collaborate and then you grow. You cannot grow as an individual person. You just have to collaborate. Identify good people, identify good university, have a collaboration. Start from national, go to the international, and then connect, and then you grow. So it's going together, not grow alone. You will grow together. And also you have said the career guidance courses, which I think you are doing, because I have seen in physiotherapy college, after the students pass out, they conduct, I think 1 or 2 days or 5 days program where they give exposure to everything to the students, what options they can have, whether they want to go for a study academic side or research side, all the things they do, they already do wonderfully. I do not know the similar practice is there in your nursing college also. For the UG students, after they graduate, become an intern, they conduct 5 days program where they invite all the people. I have been invited as one of the person to talk about after they complete BPT, what all options are there. And then when I saw the schedule, they have one like helping the students to know about the loan, how to apply for PGs, or even they call one person from a sports field and then explain to them how to become a sports person, or how to set up their own clinic. Like that's really wonderful. Something like that, career guidance actually we should do. Or that is one of the area that we can increase. And then finally, challenges you put as a restrictions of regulatory councils in foreign admission. I completely agree, like especially for you know, nursing council, whether the council allows the foreign people to come in, or whether any separate categories are there, all those things definitely that you have to accept, and then you have to sail through, or sometimes you have to admit and then continue to your work. So this is the first step in quality initiative. Like you just have to reflect yourself first, identify your strength, weakness, opportunities, and challenges. Like we do encourage our departments to do SWOT every year. In the beginning, you do, then at the end, you see and match. Again, for the next year, you do, because the SWOT cannot remain the same for every year. It will keep on change, right? We had COVID. That's another one sudden threat, challenges. We all change to the online mode. So like that, every year we have to do the SWOT or reflection. So it's basically continuous. Don't do for 1 year. Every year you should do, and then you should reflect. One of the best place that you can understand about what is happening at the individual level is through audit. No, this maybe you are doing, I do not know, but ideally the internal audit should happen biannually. Because now in our institute we have a semester pattern. So every semester we do one audit, how it went. Audit means not only the academic process, along with the infrastructure audit. Called AAA, academic and administrative audit. Everything. I think this is even the NAC asks for this audit. And then we also look at academic or research every quarterly. Like it's nothing, just suppose it's in your nursing, you will have a lot of department, community nursing, surgical nursing, something like that. So all the HODs will come and then sit with the HOA and then tell about their thing, what is happening in their institute or in their department, quarterly. You just have to have some template from all the domains, like from curriculum, teaching, learning. You can have in line with an act on curriculum, teaching, learning, research, student placement, progression, or governance, and then the last one, institutional best practices, something like that. You can review and then you can do. Also, another one good thing is a cross audit. I said a little among your peer group only. Like you have 3 campuses. I think in Salem there will be one nursing college. Then Puducherry you will have one nursing college. You can do cross audit. People from Salem can do audit for them. So that external people doing audit is always good. So you can do a cross audit. And you can definitely have a checklist. I'll just show checklist that what we have. This is the one which we have made based on the NAC thing. So that it is not we do at the end, we do once in 6 months, and then we go to each department and then we look at all these things like curricular aspects. We look at the syllabus copy, whether they have got the proper approval, whether they have all the minutes of the OAS, academic senate meeting, or if at all, if regulatory body approval is required, whether they have, or if they are offering any certificate courses, whether they have the syllabus or approval, or if they have some adjunct faculty, whether they do have a document and then an appointment, and if they are offering any elective courses, open elective courses. See, open elective, do you have open elective there? I know your council do not.
Some of the
Sorry?
programs we have.
Yeah. Because say that open elective is one of the good place where you can show academic flexibility. And open elective, like it's not necessarily to be within your curriculum. You can arrange like a 4 to 5 weekly, one or twice. Like you can have an open elective course from each institute. For example, if you are as a nursing college, you can offer open elective course on first aid. From physiotherapy college, they can offer an open elective on physical activity. From like that, each person from engineering, they can offer an open elective on artificial intelligence, which is of interest to all the students. So that see, physical activities, everyone is interested. So nursing people also can read. So this is the one actually which is your academic flexibility or value-added course. Value-added courses is one of the criteria, item in criteria one. You can show that. So if at all, if they have, you have to have in your objective table, yearly strategic plan you have to have. Okay, by the end of this year, we will offer one elective from our institute, something like that. No, we do have that practice, so we check that, and then whether curriculum development and revision documents, whether they have properly, or whether their website is proper, whether they updated, because NAC now goes maximum verification on online. So whether everything is ready, it is displayed, no, and then feedback, whether the feedback analysis is taken, action taken. So these all we have kept under. This is not complete thing, but we have made certain things based on our experience. Like that, you can have in teaching learning, like starting from syllabus, orientation, class schedule. If you have some online, we have something called student life cycle management, where everything is online, their attendance, report generation, everything. So you can check that whether everything is properly entered or something like that, or result analysis, exam results, counseling, mentoring, whether it is happening properly. Now NAC also slow learner and advanced learners, whether they have the proper document for that. All these things like we do every 6 months during the audit itself, so that we know whether they are ready, whether they have everything, so that at the end when we ask for AQR, they just give from each department, and then in the quality of this, we just verify once and then we complete everything. So all these things under the teaching learning. Under the research, whether publications, grant, patent, collaborations, or any research programs they conducted, or any consultancy services, all these. Governance, whether they conduct, whether regular meeting in the department, whether they have that every year objective table. What I meant by objective table is they have something here every year beginning, we make one objective table. At the end, we compare whether means the targets and achievement. They have some targets. And then at the end, we plan whether we have achieved or not. Something like that. No, this is just a one sample for you to give an idea, but you can have your own checklist. So reflection is very important. Reflection either through SWOT or through audit, or sitting and during the discussion or planning for every year beginning and then verifying at the end. All these things comes under the reflection, continuous reflection. The second element is the innovation and adaptation. Today's world itself is innovative. Like you just have to be very innovative, and then you have to be adapted, because you have to keep yourself aligned with changing educational trends. See, students are not like olden days. When we studied, we used to read from the book. We used to go to the library. We used to take a hard copy and literally sit and read. Today's students are not like that. They like to read or spend more time with the gadgets. No, mobile, online. They'll be more interested if you incorporate some of the online modules. They're not ready for sitting and then listening. See, that has its own advantage. For example, see here this webinar also. Imagine arranging in-person webinar, how difficult it is. That is the advantage of technology. Similarly, students also. Also, technology integration, a new teaching method, that is a student-centric method. The whole thing has to be changed from lecture-centric or teacher-centric to the student-centric. Teacher-centric is go and give the lectures. For example, now, initially I just asked you 1 or 2 questions. If I don't ask anything and then I just go on talk, it is teacher-centric. But if I ask you, if I make you do some activity in between, suppose for example, if it have been there in person, I would have asked you only to make SWOT analysis of your own department. No, you just make that way. It is a student-centric, means it will be engaging, active learning it is called. It's a pedagogy. So we have to find some of the things, like one of the important things is students like to learn online. So go for more of Swayam portal or Coursera courses or MOOC, massive open online courses. So these all things should be, so innovation, whatever is the latest trend, there is no point in saying that, oh, students are using mobile, they don't listen. If you do online, we don't know whether they're listening or not. Everything will have its own advantage and disadvantage. Even this, I'm talking webinar. I do not know how many of you are listening or how many of you just there. That's a disadvantage. But the advantage is, see, 1 hour we can talk and then wind up. No traveling all the way there, everyone assemble, lot of expenses, lot of time, all those things we can say. So advantage is actually higher. So you definitely go for innovation and adaptation. You said learning management system. We have something called Brightspace learning management system. This is a screenshot of my page, what you see here. Or whatever courses I teach, all will be appearing in my screen. And then I give all, I engage the students through this online also. It doesn't mean that I don't go to the class and then take lectures. I do take lectures. But some of the assignments, some of the material post, they are supposed to do some work and then they are supposed to reply. So learning management system is one of the best place where the students can go back and then read what we have taught, listen to whatever we spoke. So all those things are there. This is one of the innovation adaptation. Even NAC asks for this. Whether do you have a learning management system? Criteria 4. Automation of exam is another one. Like in our university, we have gone completely paperless. The exams, like what you see in the monitor, that is a kind of like a tablet where there'll be like a pen and then students are supposed to write. It is not paper, it is a tablet. It's called e-pad. So they write exam. Question paper comes in the screen exactly at 10 o'clock. They just write, and exactly 1 o'clock, it goes off, then it goes to the cloud automatically. And then we go to the cloud, like we retrieve from there, and then we correct the answers, and then we give marks. Nowhere the paper is involved. It's all completely cloud-based, completely automation. That's called automation of exams. Paperless. We don't use any paper for paper correction. No, this is one of the innovation. Oh, we recently got international award for best practices, technology innovation. This ePad. Only thing is, initial investment will be huge. We have to invest a lot for ePad. Like we have to buy those ePads, and then maintenance. All those things are there. But that is one of the innovation things. So you have to keep on look at innovation, and then you have to adapt along with that, so that you stay alive with the changing educational trends. That is the second key element of quality initiative. Third one is the data-driven approach. I just already said data should be your deciding tool. Data you have to take in every decision making. You cannot go with the qualitatively. Someone says, yeah, I'm doing good, we have better students. No, ask them the data. Look at the data. See, sometimes it may be disappointing, but that's a fact, right? Because you wanted to improve means you should first realize where you stand. I cannot always say I'm very good. I need to know my weaknesses also. Then only I can become better. Otherwise, the person who is saying like that will be at loss. Imagine if I say I'm doing good, I'm the wonderful university, I'm the best university. Who will be at loss? I will be at loss. All the other universities will come and then give a lot of things, and then they move ahead of us. So data should speak, and then data you have to look when you make the decision. So you have to gather and analyze the data for improvement. I'll just give you one example of this. I said we make strategy document. This is the document which we made for 5 years plan from our office. I take charge of quality office. So this is the one which we make initially in 2019 for health professions, only allied health I'm talking. We had 2,250 students. So when we made a 5-year plan, we made a plan like every year we will add 40 students additional. We will increase 40 like that. We made a plan. That is our plan. So now every year, like I said already, at the year end also I present, like see this is 2,250, then we increased to 2,310, then we went to 2,329, only I think 19 increase. Then the next year 2,375. Whatever you see within the bracket is the actual number. Okay, so this is the number. This is a fact. This is a reality. Right? So I cannot just make a statement, yeah, every year we had 40 increase. No. Look at the data. From 20 to 21, we had only added, I think, 19 new additions, numbers increase. But for us, the next year, we got 46 increase. It's okay. If it is not going good, that one is important because you will sit and think where we went wrong, why we were not able to increase admission. That is when we decided, okay, we are not reaching. So what we did, we went to all the school, like we, in the sense, the admission group, admission people. They go to each local school and then they create awareness about allied health sciences. What is the importance of allied health sciences? The school education program. You go to education fair and then put a stall and then explain what all things are there. Use the social media. Put all the courses that are available here. No, you have to work. It will not simply happen. For everything, you have to do some work and then you will see the change. And then we had another one target is to see baseline. It was 83 out of 100 students. If you see 83 students were UG, 16 were PG. But I just said we wanted to have more research and we want to improve the postgraduate. So that was one of our aim. See, this 79.21, what you see at the year 4 is set in the beginning because we had for 5-year plan. Then if you see the year 1, our target was 80 is to 20. We have not achieved. Year 2, 80 is to 20. We have reached close. But year 3, we kept 79 to 21. We could reach. Sometimes you may not see the change within a year because it will take some time to show the changes. You know, it's like a business industry. And then finally 79 is to 21. We wanted to get, now we have achieved that. Means what we did initially to increase the number, we created a lot of new UG program and increase the seat. Then we realized, no, we have to now create a lot of postgraduate programs or increase the seat matrix. No, then we little brought down. So now strictly we have decided no more new programs we are going to add for UG. We have to focus now on PG so that we increase the PG ratio so that we can increase the research. It's all linked. No? This understanding first we have to get so that we will do, but everything we have to speak with the data. No, qualitatively saying better, good, bad, worse. No, this is a number, that's all. So data-driven approach now, today also, if you see your assessment report, you see, suppose, for example, you have these many open elective. Now, what do you wanted to improve? How you wanted to improve the score for which, how many courses you have to offer you? What is the action plan? That way only we have to work. So that's the third major key element. Another one, most important, is stakeholder engagement. No, I said you have to involve the students, faculty, parents, alumni, and employees. Faculty, when I say professionals from external. So feedback you should take. I think you have mentioned that you are taking feedback from all. You are taking feedback from all. If you're not doing, you should do from all. If you're doing, it's well and what is most important is you should discuss and communicate. Feedback should not stay only in the paper. That is of no use. Whatever you take feedback, you have to discuss why the students are given this kind of input. why alumni feedback is like this, why employees said like this. We have to communicate to the concerned people so that the action can be taken. It should happen at all levels. Like for example, no department level, it should happen. Every monthly staff meeting, whenever the feedback comes next to that monthly staff meeting, they have to discuss why the score went down, why the students gave. See, you can say students are not qualified enough to give the rating, but we have to admit that whatever the program is there, whatever the recipe that we have is for students. They should also be happy. You cannot say they don't know to because because generations are changing, right? See, our generation were told that you have to work hard to get a good pay. Today it's not like that. No more working hard. They say work smartly, not work hardly. Current generations are like that. They're more of outcome based, focused. They're more of outcome oriented. We were process oriented. They are like, okay, if I join today in nursing, will I get placement after 4 years? How much I will get? That is a thinking process. You cannot actually blame anyone. That is how generations are changing, and then the life speed is increasing, the pace is increasing. So we have to design our program, or we have to prepare for them. So you cannot ignore anybody's feedback. But sometimes it will be personal, that all no need. But constructively, whatever they give, what really you feel also can be improved, incorporated, it has to be done. So it has to be discussed and then communicated. If from the department level, it has to go to the institute at the monthly HOD meeting or during management review meeting or IQAC meeting, or it should go to the university top level also at the time of board of studies or MRM IQAC meeting. Do you involve your students in the board of studies meeting, or they are the member of board of studies also?
No, sir.
You should involve them.
Actually, we have a academic review committee. There the students are there. That is before the BOS.
Okay. Because see, I'll tell you the positive way of having them in the board of studies. They will know that you are whatever you are doing, or what the institution is doing, what the university is doing is for them. So they will know that you are actually doing all these things for ultimately the benefit of the students. That will go from word of mouth. Like we involve in IKC, we have a student president, a student council you will have. So you should involve the student president. No, but you know certain things which can be solved within the institute level. You can tell the student, this is not to be relevant to be escalated to the university. This is the issue of this. But anything that from there they feel or you also feel which the university should listen, you should actually involve the student, because sometimes university listening to the student will have a greater impact than listening to us, as a faculty. So board of studies student has to be there. MRM, we involve student president. IPC meeting, we involve student president. I think because they're one of the major stakeholders. We should not forget the whole college, the whole university is mainly for students. They're the main stakeholders, primary stakeholder. Then comes your parents. Then the same student will become the alumni. All these students will go will be employed by some employer. So they're all the stakeholders, but primary is your student. So we have to involve them in our process. No, for example, we do curriculum conclave for revision of the curriculum, where we involve students also, where we have to involve alumni, where we have to involve the faculty. So students also has to be the part of thing. Let them say later. You can decide whether that particular point can be considered, or you have to communicate them. See, this point is difficult, like that. But they should have some place. They should have access to put their voice or put their thought. So that is very important, because most of the time we do take feedback. See, when we do feedback here, make it very anonymous, but even then, sometimes students will say, what, you take feedback, God only knows whether you're doing or not. What we do is we make this a point during our closing audit when we discuss the feedback. We bring one of the student and then make them sit and then they will go through. Okay, these people are discussing whatever the feedback we have given. We discuss whatever the feedback they are given. But of course, some feedback they give which we also cannot do. For example, some of the students will write fees can be reduced, which we cannot do. But some of the students will say increase the practical exposure, improve your practical exposure, or give us more of lab. All those things actually we work at the department, at the institute. Then something space problem, we escalate to the university. We say, see, this is a finding, this is the feedback, you please address that. That way we say, then that is a quality improvement because see the problem at a minimum level only has to be addressed. Otherwise, it will become big, 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 and then it will go as spread as a word of mouth, and then completely everything stops at one point. Because today's again and again, I'm saying today's students are very smart. Media presence, social media presence, all those things are there. So they can put anything on social media, anything. I'm not saying that we have to completely listen to them or we have to be scared of them. We can take some constructive inputs which we can address, which is a personal attack or something you don't need to consider at all. So stakeholder engagement is very important. Another one major engagement that we have to do is alumni engagement. Do you involve your alumni in your academic process?
This alumni are part of the academic process.
Yeah, we take feedback, like we send curriculum and then we take the feedback.
Yeah.
Yes. Do you involve your alumni?
They are also part of the academic council.
Oh, very good, sir. So they're part of the academic council. Very good. Do you involve them in taking guest lectures or webinars?
Yes, sir. Yes.
That's a great thing. You should actually involve them. That is kind of appreciation they feel. Now, whatever possible way, like what really you have to do is what we did, I'm saying, we put out in the social media to the alumni. We have just written, whoever is interested in sharing their thing with current students, you please contact us. Many people contacted, particularly we utilized during that COVID time. So many, during only COVID time, 1 year, we conducted 60 webinars, full of academic. All our alumni, I'm talking only physiotherapy college, all our alumni gave one, whatever is their own specific area, or even some of them who is in abroad just talking how they went to abroad or what difficulties they had. So students, how they have to prepare their anything, whatever they wanted, they can just talk for 1.5 hours or something like that. We keep always at 4:30 to 5, like out of our curriculum time we keep, so that all the students can attend and then they can do. So involve them in academic process. You are doing it is good. You can increase and involve them as research. Are you involving them in research?
Yes, sir.
Means you should involve them as a co-investigator, or at least you have to involve them in the DAC committee. But you have to identify. You cannot keep every alumni. Identify people who is well placed, who is there in some reputed institute abroad or national level importance institute. So you have to involve them as guide or co-guide. Guide you cannot make, co-guide or DAC member. At least DAC member you can make, or you can ask them to talk about the research, anything, whatever possible level. And placements, that is another one important place where we have to engage our alumni, which already actually I spoke. And when we do all these things, when they do, you have to give some appreciation to them. Appreciation not necessarily to be a money. Sometimes even a simple gesture also can be the thing. Like say, for example, what we have in our institute, one is a wall of fame we have created, like where we have kept all our reputed alumni who is very well, but who is also contributing. See, this is based on their contribution to the alma mater. No, like we have created, this is there in our college building where every student sees, so they get inspired, right? Oh, tomorrow I also can be placed or can come in this board. But based on their contribution, you see all these people who is there, they have contributed more either in terms of research or definitely not in terms of money. All these people have contributed in terms of their academic thing, involvement research or placement. So that way we have identified, means a lot of applications we got and then we scrutinized and then this is nothing, just an appreciation. We have not given anything to alumni, but they feel proud and then they feel more motivated to contribute back, to the alma mater. And the current students, when they all saw this, they all get very happy, felt happy, and then they wanted to be here in future. You understand? So whatever we do, we have to give some appreciation. Because nowadays, alumni, when we contact, they first think, okay, we are going to ask money. No, necessary. We can involve them in any of the process. Even they'll be very happy to take classes to the students. Whatever possible way we can involve them, because Alumni Connect is a strong key point for many of the things. Now, we even assess at one point whether the new admission is either through alumni referred admissions. And then recently we have decided, suppose one alumni, if they refer 10 admissions, we'll give some appreciation, send a note of appreciation, something like that. So if you see most of IITs or all reputed institutes and all, they mainly style through alumni. Like IIT Madras recently, we would have seen like some alumni gave lot of money, lot of infrastructure. So they are all government. Maybe we can question other way. They all would have fees, they would have paid less. But private institute, we charge them how they will give. That's why I'm saying, not necessary that they have to give money. Initially, you can just connect with them. Don't ask anything. Just connect. Just a letter from a HOI. Just can go to all of them and then just, or from the alumni cell can go and then first connect only. Then only you have to collaborate and then only you have to grow, contribute. All those things will happen. So that's the next thing. Then the professional development, I don't need to say, I think you guys are doing amazing job. Now, for example, this also you are giving a training for all your people about what has to be done. And then other thing, this is one of the major quality initiatives, because a faculty should not think, okay, I have completed MPT, PhD, that's all, nothing, I will sit. No. I have to update every day myself, for which I have to go for workshop, have to attend the seminar, from where I will get research opportunities. And that is how we have to connect people. No conferences, collaboration. I'll just say in our university, they give some incentive or funding to go for abroad. But they ask me after I come back, what is the outcome of attending the conference? I'm supposed to come and then present it to them, what connect I made, what collaboration I'm going to make, how that will contribute to the university. So they just don't give money and then leave. No, everything we have to be accounted. No, that way, this all small step, but it will go in a big way. So encourage them. I think already you have mentioned, like you give some incentive for them to present a paper. Let them go, present a paper, ask them to make connections, ask them to make collaboration. And then slowly from the collaborations, they will let them get one MOU. Then you make an MOU, then you exchange the students, then you exchange the faculty. It will go long way. Definitely, your alumni will be placed very well in some of the reputed institute abroad. Identify them. First, collaborate with them, make them as adjunct faculty, make them as a guest faculty. Like that, slowly, it will not happen within a day. It will go long way. But professional development is another one key thing. Even start from national, then you can go to the international. Or if not from academic institute, start from industry, have an industry MOU. Then you go for an academic MOU. Something like that you have to do. So professional development is another one key element of quality initiative. I think this I said, the dissemination of best practices. You have to share successful strategies. Among all the institute, someone will be doing something really good, which they would have seen the fruits also. So why not replicate the same in other institute? So you have to share the successful strategies. And again, I said the social media, you have to be actively involved in social media, but very carefully, because in our place, we cannot put every content on social media. It goes to several steps, and then there is a social media wing. They will check and then they will put. Like, for example, Dr. Santil has attended this and that, something like that. No, so share the successful strategy so that it improves. And then we have a social media page for where all alumni also are there. So we'll put everything. So then old student, my old 25 years back, old student also will be in still contact. Okay, great, sir, you are doing this. No, it's basically connect. You have to maintain the connect. Slowly they will contact. So you have to share all the successful strategies. And then finally, ethical thing is very important because education has a holistic role to play. No, it's not only just you're teaching learning, you are making them imbibe some qualities, becoming a good professional. So it's important what you do when they are here also. Not only teaching, how you behave. No, suppose during the period also, they should feel good. They should not feel like, my God, leave, over. I will never even think of this institute. It will not be like that, but I'm just saying, even one student also should not feel like that. So we have to give a good atmosphere, give a good feel, because they are going to be our future pillar, alumni. They are going to help us in lot of ways. You won't know alumni helping the alma mater. I'm again saying all the Indian institutes of technology are basically standing there just because of their alumni, or even Harvard or those people also. So they are there from so many years, right? So it's a holistic way. So they should feel connected, and then we should integrate ethics and sustainability and social awareness. And you are one of the good practices, or I think distinctiveness, you have written like rural healthcare because of your location. I think you should build up on that community camps. You can have a voluntary service organization where you can involve the students, involve them in organizing the community camps. You may be doing already, but you have to do, because that is one of the major criteria in MAC. Or even now, Times Their Education, there is something called the Sustainable Developmental Goals. They completely give ranking based on our societal impact. Know how much we contribute to the society, and you really can contribute more because you're in such a place. And you can link, like you are doing in one community here in Puducherry, Salem, Karaikal, all those things you can link, and then you can create a story and then you can put. That's what important in Times Their Education ranking and all. So social responsibility also is another one quality key element. So these all are the key elements that you have to follow if you want to further improve the quality in your post accreditation phase. And benefit, what happens? First, your education quality improves, then the reputation. That is what the most important. For example, sometimes we also say in our university, we are still sitting in the old legacy. We may have to know change. Like that, we also discuss reputation is important, right? When we say IIT Madras, that word is enough. That is enough. Now people will just come with the name only. So reputation is very important. That when it comes, it won't come simply when the education quality is improved. Like when we produce a good quality students, employer will say, "Oh wow, they're coming from this institute. They're very good." No, student itself will feel proud, and then they will tomorrow they will send their children, or they will even feel more connected to it, like that. And finally, societal impact will be there. And the quality increases, reputation increases, societal impact will be really great. Of course, there will be some challenges and solution. Some of the challenges, awareness about this accreditation, or what to be maintained, what not to be maintained, how to maintain the data, how to even create the data file, all those things. It can be done to training. Like suppose what is happening now is training. So that training regularly has to happen about each criteria. You tell everyone, see, this is the score now we have got. Now these are area we have to work. Maybe we are doing, but we are not getting the data. You guys have to give the data properly. So something like that. All these things. Lack of resources. That is a major challenge most of the time. You all will agree. Because we also have this problem. Like mainly human resources. Who will collect? Who will sit and compile all the data? We are all professionals. We are supposed to teach. We are supposed to treat patients. We are supposed to do research. And we are supposed to compile the data. It's like that. So maybe sometimes a staff or administrative staff should be trained, and then you can give some responsibilities to them, or you can find some ICT innovation technology which can capture, which can compile, which can store, or sometimes even you don't have time. That is also because I said I have to teach, I have to treat patient, I have to do research. In between, I have to do this work also. So time, how it can be shared responsibilities. Like for example, each criteria, give it to one person. Sometimes each item, see last time when 5-year data when we collected, each item we gave it to one person, one faculty. 1.1.1, you just check, you compile and then give me. 1.1.2, you do and then give. And then find like that shared responsibilities. And then planning, that can actually help us to minimize, utilize the proper time. Even after all these things, some people, maybe because of aging or sometimes maybe because of their lack of knowledge in technology, they'll be resistant to change. For that also you can do training. I sorry to put that, but at the end you can connect all these things to also performance assessment. It will connect everything. Like for example, for performance assessment, if you give at that time, we will not consider. When we collect the data, if the data is that only we are going to consider. Like we have research management system portal. For our performance assessment, they will directly look at that portal one. So we all have to enter in the portal. If when I publish a paper, I have to enter in the portal. So automatically when my performance assessment happens, they will look at that data one. So something that's a last option. I'm not saying that should be a first, but if nothing works, finally link it to the performance assessment. These are some of the challenges which, from my experience, I have seen, but there may be many more challenges also. But for every challenge, there will be a solution. Definitely, there will be a solution. Only thing is we just have to think and then do. So to conclude, you have a great leader. Now, that is the first thing that is important for moving forward. You have to have your goal clearly, role clearly, who is going to do this, who is going to what I have to do some 2 papers for this year, or I have to create one new program, or I have to create one open elective, or I have to work on alumni and improve. So role clarity should be there, and all have to work as a team, communicate effectively, provide training wherever it's required. And then this is the culture that we have to develop. No transparency, everything. Maybe I'm proud to say that the transparency is the one key thing which I like here in this place where I'm working. It should be transparent. You don't need to make the thing at the end. It will be, it might backfill sometimes. What is there is there. What is not there is not there. Maybe we start doing it so that we create, instead of just making. So the transparency, then definitely you have to have a metric for success. This is the most important thing. Reward people who is doing all this work and then give them the recognition also. Only anybody will do that work. No, nobody will do any work without reward or without recognition. So if we do all these things, definitely we can go further higher. And I'm wishing you all the best from bottom of my heart for your continuous improvement. I'm wishing you all the best. Now, if you have any questions, you can ask. Otherwise, I'm done with it. I'm just thank you. Any question, anything you want to ask? Anyone want to ask? Okay, ideally, what I felt, realized, I was completely busy. So I was thinking what I have to talk. Then I realized maybe I should have asked your recommendation thing, like what you have got from your NAC, because maybe they would have given some recommendations. This is the one you improve. This is the one you improve, like that. That would have given a very good picture to tell you what exactly you have to do. But again, whatever I have made is based on your SSR report. I have seen some of the SSR report. When I went through the document, I was not able to see many things. Sometimes you may have to play with the things. Like for example, value-added courses. They will not. It has to be more than 15 hours. You can ask your students to enroll for Coursera courses or some online courses which you can show. That you can capture. Now, sometime and student-centric method document when I went through, you have to have the photos. And then I think GPS, now everything has to be a GPS thing. So what we have made one practice is every activity we tell first thing is take one photo. Take one photo. All those things are the evidences. So student-centric method, I went through your document. You have written very nicely, but you can support with the photos. Like the students are, because definitely you put the students in the patient's hospital, that is patient-centric learning. You are taking a lecture-based learning. You might be having simulation. You might be having cadaver. All those things you can project as a different type of learning. Student must be presenting. Students are having a project. You can present that as a project-based learning. So all those things actually you can actually show. Okay, so I think in overall you have got a very good score. Further, still you can further improve. You just have to work on that. I think it will come automatically. Thank you once again, and thank you so much. And I think any queries, you can put it in chat box, but I'm not seeing any queries. Maybe later also you can, no?
Thank you so much, sir, for your remarkable and thought-provoking session. Dear delegates, if you have any doubts, you can ask now, and the forum is now open for queries clarification. There is no questions in the chat box. Dear delegates, the
Okay.
feedback link is given in the chat box. Kindly fill the feedback forms. Gratitude.
Yeah, sorry. If there are no questions, I would like to thank Dr. B. Gnanasekhar, sir, Director IQC, and Dr. Sashiri for giving me an opportunity to talk. It's always pleasure to talk to Vinaya Missions because there I also worked after my undergraduation for a few years. So I always feel connected to Vinaya Missions. It's my working alma mater also, like professional alma mater. So thank you so much for having me here. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Sendil. It was really wonderful that you have gone through our SSR and aligned your slides presentation based on our SSR. It was really rather an eye opener for all of us. They have had a number of initiatives which can be taken from today's webinar. I think the SSR, the last part, I don't know whether you have seen the peer team report. That was what you were referring to.
No, I'm referring to recommendations they give, sir. Like what you have to do when we come for next cycle of accreditation. Like
Yes,
that
is what it is available in the peer team report on the last page.
Okay, sorry.
There are around 11 points which they have given.
Okay.
Uniform staff welfare measures to be adopted across all faculties. That is being looked into because our issue is we are a complex university where we have right from medicine to engineering, arts and science. So all uniformity cannot be there because they are governed by various statutory bodies. So we need to keep in line with them. Yes. But we are trying to cut match there. Creating good lab infrastructure and central instrumentation facility. This was very specific to the medical colleges, and that has already been attended to and it has been improved. And enhancing security features in online and offline exam system and introducing continuous assessment practices. Again, that is also part of most of the statutory bodies. So that is also being followed. Strengthening ICT infrastructure, again, that is a continuous process.
Yes, sir. Yes.
And induction of more faculty in IQAC and other institutional bodies, that we have done. Because the earlier manual was very specific on the number of members in IQAC. So we had a restriction. Then after this recommendation, we also spoke with IQAC, NAC, and now we have enhanced more number of faculty in the IQAC. And adequate maintenance of some of the campuses, that has been taken care. Because during our PT visit, we were in the midst of COVID. So all the three hospitals were taken over by the government for treating COVID patients. So there were plenty of restrictions and all that. So that had that gap. So that has been addressed now. Enhanced budgetary provision for sports and extracurricular activities, that also has been taken care. Strengthening PhD program. Again, that is one major issue which we are facing. We are, not able to convert part-time to full-time. So that is one area which we are also facing issues. And all faculties should be provided equal opportunity for career progression, growth. That is being given. We have, incentivization program which supports all the faculty irrespective of whichever discipline they belong to, and augmenting research outputs. So that is also one area which is being taken care.
Yeah, actually, you're doing amazing, sir. And then you have ample opportunity because yours also is like something like us. I completely agree with you when you are multidisciplinary. It is not one single, definitely. But that is also a plus also sometimes. You're doing really good. One final thing maybe I wanted to say is what we have problem here is sometimes people think only those who are sitting in IQAC or quality is responsible for maintaining the data. But it is not like that. Every faculty or every person should get the feel of whatever I do, I have to document. Whatever I do, I have to make a report and then give. If that, I'm not saying that here it is happening. That's a major problem. Even here also we have. Every time we have to ask no faculty to give the data, or that is a major challenge. But what I feel is everyone should take the ownership. Like this is not only the responsibility of IQAC chairperson or IQAC people. Everyone is responsible for giving a data. I think that sense of ownership also is one of the major things that will really help us to change. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Nice interacting with you also.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable inputs. Gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, it is the fairest blossom which springs from soul. Herewith, I would like to call Dr. V. Sasi, Vice Principal from IQAC Coordinator VMCon, to express our gratitude on behalf of Vinayaga Missions College of Nursing.